Welcome to our first ever Public Service Appreciation Day. You get those all the time, don't you? Members of Congress and state legislators and mayors and superintendents and school board members and county board members and city council members who are here. But we thought, as a privately financed museum, we are here to ask you for no money. And we are very grateful. We are here in the presence of our landlord. We do live in the public house. This museum building is owned by the county, but every dime what we spend here is given by generous contributors and members and sponsors, 4,200 strong and growing. We are the only museum of art, science, history, and achievement in the country. The only one with those four pillars of a multidisciplinary mission, all cylinders focused on unleashing the full talent and genius of every individual. That is our fundamental mission here. And on behalf of our board of directors who are with us today, I've got a few board members. Please raise your hands. And one of our founding board members, Sally Snyder, who is with us. Thank you. Our board last year collectively contributed $328,000 between their businesses, foundations, and individuals to support this museum. We had a record fundraising year, $2 million contributed to this museum. And of course, we announced an incredible gift from a native son of Peoria, Chicago business leader, Bon French, his wife Holly, for $1 million to the museum. So things are really rolling for our ability to bring in the content of inspiration for our community. I'd like to recognize those of my colleagues who are just the best team in the museum business in the country, and they're around, standing humbly around the back. But if you'd raise your hand, our colleague, our staff, our professional staff, our curators, all those who are today, we just wanted to take a moment to thank you who serve in the public realm. We have a gift that I understand is completely and totally ethical because it's so inexpensive to give you, but it is a coffee mug of the Peoria Riverfront Museum. So all of those of you who serve in public office, those coffee mugs are for you. So thank you. We're here in the last week of Art of the Brick by Nathan Sawaya. It's the centerpiece of our year of invention, where for people throughout all of Central Illinois, we were trying to lift up the spirit and confidence of inventiveness. And so for those of you who've anybody seen Art of the Brick? I know you've been through, but we got 1 million Lego bricks assembled in such a creative way that it has to inspire anybody who goes through there in the spirit of invention. So what I want to do now is ask for just comments from a few of those elected officials who've taken the time to be with us today. I will tell you, in my 2.5 years as the president and CEO, it's the first time I've had the pleasure, while I see them individually, first time the pleasure I've had the two members of Congress who represent Peoria, Illinois, and our vicinity, the 18th Congressional District and the 17th Congressional District, in the presence of the museum at the same time. And I appreciate what you do to fly the flag for Central Illinois and Washington, D.C. In order of congressional district, I would like to ask for greetings from both of you. But prior to doing that, I would like to ask for the chairman of the Peoria County Board and our landlord. So I'll make it first. Chairman Andrew Rand to say a few words of greeting.
Thank you everyone for being here today. For $1 a year, it's not bad. $1 a year for a long, long time. I was noticing how I was sitting and I left with my colleagues, and I saw Mr. Stopper over here. It looks like Mayor Muneer is helping there closer to the center. Off the head, tease, because this building is really constructed on the backbone of collaboration and cooperation that dates back to a group. The name is often forgotten. I haven't forgotten it. It's in all the documents regarding the museum. The museum collaboration, which is all of the entities that wanted their own museum and wanted financial support from the federal government, and they went to Europe retired Secretary of Transportation, Ray Lewin, for some money, and he suggested, why don't you all work on a project together that would leverage much, much more in terms of the output and final result. And really, that's where all this comes from. And along the way, there have been a lot of people who helped get that done. Representative Leach and Senator Kaler made sure the bill got signed, and the governor, whose name we won't mention, was actually the governor who got the legislation through that let counties place on the ballot a referendum for a public facility sales tax. That's just some of the meat underneath how it is we got to be here today. But I remember this history like it was yesterday because I'd just been elected. And part of the deal to be elected was to pick a chairman. And picking a chairman, you exchange a few things at the county board, and with that, I got the chance to work with John Morris's brother, who did not vote for the referendum about this like I did. A colleague from the Republican bill. We worked together on putting together all the agreements that led to the lease operating agreement with the old Lakeview, that picked the first boards of directors, that ensured that the people's money, the $32 million we bonded to build this place, would in fact be safe, and that we had a relationship with a private party who would pay their bills and do a good job in the public space. And it was your brother and I that had a chance to work on it, and I remember like it was yesterday. And then the two of us got dubbed to chair the construction of the thing. So the last time we finished it on time and under budget and handed the keys over. So congratulations for being the third most successful CEO of the Peoria Riverfront Museum, because he got all of us in the room today under this guise of some sort of public official, public service appreciation. But I know for a fact he doesn't do lunch for less than $1,000. So I've added it up, and that's at least $22,000. Congratulations. Thank you. Welcome to the Peoria Riverfront Museum.
Thank you. I told him I was going to ask him for anybody today. Public money. Privately, make sure you're a member of the museum. Appreciate all those. We have something called the Visionary Society. People give $1,000 a year to help support the cause. Some of you in this room are Visionary Society members. We appreciate it. When I came 2.5 years ago, we had 99 Visionary Society private donors, and we are probably this week going to hit 300. So it's amazing how the private citizens are stepping forward to help. So please help me welcome Congresswoman from the 17th Congressional District of the great state of Illinois, Congresswoman Cheri Bustos.
I came all this way from the river. I was on the river all day to get my coffee mug. I just wanted to know that. John, thank you for what you do. Just a really quick story. I was having lunch down at the Rhythm Kitchen, and I think that was the first time you and I met. And John is always, as you know, especially those who serve on the board, John is always on. He's always selling what's going on here in Peoria. He's selling what's going on in this building. And I think that the community is very, very lucky to have someone as dedicated and enthusiastic as you are. Before we walk in, just a few minutes before this starts, and John wanted to make sure that he could squeeze in a really quick tour of all the Legos. And I just think we're really lucky to have this. We're really lucky to have John. We're really lucky to have the board that serves. And I'm a firm believer that nothing in a good and strong community happens without the work of a lot of people. And sometimes that's federal and state and local, city, county, government, but a lot of times it's just everyday people who come together and make something happen. And that's the story of the Peoria Riverfront Museum, and I'm very proud to be here to collect my coffee mug. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jared. Congressman, a longtime friend, and actually, although he looks a lot younger than me, I knew him way back when we graduated from different high schools together. But please help me welcome longtime friend, Congressman Darren Miller.
Well, thank you, John, for your leadership here. I think we all realize in this room it's hard to say no to John Morris, right? Yeah, it's John, it's because of you that we're all here today. And the success that this museum has had is because of John Morris and taking it to a whole nother level. John, thank you for your service and everything you do. And to Andrew Rand and your leadership and your entire team on what you've done, we appreciate it. And you know, when I first got here today and did the tour in there, a farmer came up to me from Woodford County and he said, I'm here today with my 3 grandkids. He said, I saw you last week at the farmer co-op and we love coming to the museum. Now this is the last guy I would ever thought would be here at the museum. But it says a lot about what this does for our region. Not just here in Peoria, but the entire region and drawing people here. And it's because of the leadership that you guys have put together here as a team that we're able to put this on the map and take it to a whole nother level. And so I'm just proud to be here on Appreciation Day. We don't get appreciated very much, but to be here today with all of you and the other elected officials to continue to promote what you do here and to go out and talk about the benefits here. And John mentioned our family's proud to be part of the Visionary Society. We have 3 sons that are young that have been here numerous times. They were in the Lego exhibit long before I was ever here, but they appreciate the movies and the exhibits and everything that it brings to Peoria here. So proud to be here. I'll also mention I had the opportunity about 6 weeks ago. Kate Newmiller was out in DC, and we had an event in the Rayburn building for the Smithsonian, and we brought together museums from all across the country. And the Smithsonian put it on, and it was talking about how we can collaborate with the Smithsonian Museum in Washington, D.C. and bring exhibits here, and the applicability of what it does. And we look forward to continuing to work with you, John, and Kate, with Congressman Bustos and I, as we partner with the Smithsonian to make sure that you have those opportunities to bring exhibits from Washington, D.C. and all across the country here. So anyway, so happy to be here today. Congratulations on all your success, and look forward to continuing to work with you as you continue to build on that success. Thank you all.
Please help me welcome for some brief greetings somebody who we all love and admire, and who serves in that august body, the state legislature, the General Assembly of the state of Illinois, and who was really an integral part when we launched this museum of helping to get things worked out. A good man, a good, thoughtful friend of this museum for many years, Senator Dave Kaler.
Just recalling some of the memories when this all was kind of in turmoil, so I remember the phone call that I made. I think it was to Brad McMillan, who was working with the committee on that. The governor had just signed the legislation that allowed for this referendum. It was a sales tax referendum because actually, when I was first approached by the previous director, he said, property tax referendum isn't going to fly. It's not going to fly. So let's do a sales tax referendum. So we had the law changed. And so the rest of the story is that was 9 days before the governor, whose name shall not be mentioned, was indicted. So the timing was just perfect on that. Yeah, remember that? So all this kind of came together, but what a joy this is. This is part of our life, our family's life. So it's whether I remember seeing The Martian in 3D, even that were 3D movies, but I was fascinated by that. All the movies you get to go to, the exhibits, the planetarium, watching the stars, and it's just wonderful. This is where families come, and our grandkids have. This is a stopping point for them. So this is part of our life. John, thank you to all the staff. Thank you for what you do, and thank you for having us be a part of it. And we do feel appreciated.
Good. You are. So I'd like to bring forward the mayor of the city where we stand, the proud mayor of the city. And before I do, I just want to mention that right out that window is a 12-foot tall bronze beer stein that is here in large part because of the mayor. It is not filled with anything, but it represents our sister city relationship with Friedrichshafen, Germany. And artist Lonnie Stewart has created this unbelievable work of public sculpture. And the mayor is here today. The crane brought it in, and it is here on a temporary basis. We're hoping to cast another one and keep it here forever. But whether it's the sister city relationship or whether it's the work we do to lift up this city and the entire Peoria region, the entire Illinois region, please help me welcome Mayor Jim Artis.
Thanks, John. In that sign, if you have a second and you haven't seen it, there's a lot of really cool history of both Friedrichshafen on one side, the city of Peoria on the other, and nobody but Lonnie Stewart could have done something so magnificent, but we are working on, that's for another day, we are working on to get one here, but let me, all the other public officials, glad to have you in Peoria. Obviously, they all do such a great job of representing us at the state and federal level. We're very lucky for that. I don't want it to be forgotten on people that the city of Peoria's part of this whole thing was we donated all this property so the county could build it and put it here. So this was very important to the city as well. We could not be more proud of the fact that it's here. And that we're really, our reputation around the country and frankly with some of the exhibits that are coming in around the world are on the map. And with no disrespect to the previous CEOs, a lot of this is happening because of what John Morris is doing. And so my hat's off to his board because they saw what was happening down the road in Eureka. They wanted that homegrown Peoria talent back in Peoria, and we're so lucky that John Morris is here doing the job that he's doing. But thank you for the acknowledgement for the public officials that are here today. My closing comment would be the kids. And they are doing so much work here to make sure that the kids have an opportunity at a young age to come into the museum and to learn. And when those of us around here, when Likely was there, we might have been in once or twice as we were growing up. They're providing opportunities for these young kids to come in here multiple times and really learn about what the importances of this museum is and learning about the people that made Peoria, that really made this whole world what it is. And they're learning, fun learning opportunities like the Lego project. But we need to keep that up, John. They're bringing thousands of school kids in here throughout the year. And that's really what it's all about. Okay, they're our future leaders. They're the ones that we have to make sure understand the importance of facilities like our city museum. So thank you for the invitation to come down. Thanks for what you're doing in our community. And you're just doing an awesome job here, John. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I just want to acknowledge the presence of some folks, and then we're going to get to one final thing. Right on cue as to what the mayor talked about with our young people. First of all, it's always an honor to be in the presence of one of my favorite mayors, Mayor of Washington, Illinois, Gary Demir, who Gary will do a lot of great things as Mayor of Washington, but he did what few mayors in the history of our country have to do, which is to bring his community through literally a disaster. And Gary, you always have my respect for what you did. It's an honor to have you in this museum. We're going to get more Washington young people in here on cue. I also want to recognize any other elected officials who are here. I see City Councilman Tim Riggenbach, for example, and it's not an elected position, but I have great admiration for the manager of the Peoria Symphony Orchestra, Susan Hoffman, who's here. She's the mayor of the symphony. So glad to have you again from down the street. Now, at this time, in sort of conclusion, I'd like to ask for the superintendent of the Peoria Public Schools, one of my favorite human beings on the planet, who's doing a phenomenal job with our young people here, to join me. I would like to ask Sally Snyder, our founding trustee and the originator of an idea we call the Every Student Initiative, to join me. I'd like to ask Michael Graham, who is a Visionary Society member and a member of our foundation board here, to join me. And last, I'd like to ask the superintendent of the East Peoria Schools to join me as well. So if you all four of you come up. I've got some exciting news about the future. So, the mayor, Jim Artis, mentioned earlier our commitment to young people. I'm going to tell you something, and this is not too far-fetched to believe, but I think this museum may be getting a formula down for how to unleash the full talent of our young people and of people of all ages in ways that few museums have ever achieved. You could go to upstate Illinois, that's what I've been calling it the last few months. Upstate Illinois, it's got a big city up there, but upstate Illinois has phenomenal world-class museums. But you could go to the Museum of Science and Industry and you cannot see a fine art exhibition. You can go to the Art Institute of Chicago, but you cannot see a planetarium show. And you can go to the Field Museum and see Sue, the T-Rex, but you can't see contemporary art unless you go down the street to the Museum of Contemporary Art. So there's something that the big metropolitan areas have, and that is these specialized museums in a world-class way. But there's something that we here in Central Illinois have that none of them do. None of them does. And that is, we can bring together the elements of Leonardo da Vinci, the genius, coming in November, of contemporary photographs from the Whitney Museum of American Art coming, of a planetarium show on the moon, of a Van Gogh large screen. We are the only giant screen theater in a museum in the state of Illinois. Our friends at Museum of Science and Industry have an Omnimax overhead, but not a giant screen. So we can show Casablanca, or we can show The Last Black Man in San Francisco, an independent film, a superb film that I think will knock people's socks off as we do independent films here at the museum. So we're going to bring Preston Jackson's Bronzeville to Harlem permanently to the museum to lift up our kids in the spirit of what was the Harlem Renaissance, one of the most productive periods of American history. We are going to bring T-Rex from New York City's American Museum of Natural History. And in all these things that we bring, we have something called the Every Student Initiative. A one-of-a-kind, pioneering, curriculum-related effort to get every student from every school on a privately funded visit to this museum. We started 2 years ago with Dr. Sharon Karad. And I was standing in the lobby. I said, Dr. Karad, if I could get the money, would you send every student K through 8 to this museum on a curriculum-related visit? We can design it. Holly Johnson, come up and stand right here next to it. I forgot to introduce our staff coordinator of the Every Student Initiative. Holly Johnson comes in, and I'll be darned if the first year we didn't quintuple the number of students coming through and get every single K through 8th grade student in Peoria Public Schools, and the Barton Family Foundation, and Mary Jean Bowman, and the Visionary Society, and a whole bunch of others stepped up to do it. Unbelievable. Then we did it again. Second year in a row. I remember the kids were lining up to go out to the bus out here, and I speak at a lot of, like all you do, Rotary clubs and chambers of commerce and labor things, and they ask me what's going on at the museum, and I ask them, how many of you have been to the museum? And maybe half the hands, maybe 2/3 of the hands go up, and these are leaders in our community. 2/3, I said, terrific. The other third of you were welcome. Well, I brought these kids were standing here, headed back out to Lincoln School, which is a terrific school. But on the list of federally eligible poverty level schools, it's up there. These are not kids who travel more than 3 or 4 blocks away sometimes in their lives. I said, how many of you kids, this is last year, we're in the second year of the program, how many of you children have ever been to the Peoria Riverfront Museum before? Every single hand went up. Now, if you don't think that is changing the future of our region and our community, it is. And so today, I have standing here, you're wondering, who are these people that he brought up? I have standing with me partners in not only the current Every Student Initiative with the Peoria Public Schools and Dr. Sharon Karad, and the woman who came up with the whole idea to begin with, Sally Steiner. But I have a really exciting announcement, which is for the first time, and as we roll into the 3rd year, we will be adding East Peoria schools, and they will be fully sponsored by Michael Graham and John Graham Associates investment firm to the list. And we're on the way. East Peoria is implementing schools. So to conclude, if you don't mind, brief remarks from everybody what the Every Student Initiative means. And let me introduce first the Superintendent of Peoria Public Schools, Dr. Sharon Carrano.
Thank you, John. He always does that. I had no idea I was going to make some comments, but listen, as we are thanking and just celebrating, first of all, on behalf of Peoria Public Schools, Board of Education, Dan Adler, the president of the board, we would like to thank the museum, Ms. Snyder, and actually John, a product of Peoria Public Schools. Sally, obviously, as we know, she was the board president of Peoria Public Schools board sometime a couple of years ago. But this is, you heard from Andrew, and you heard from Bustos, and you heard from LaHood, and all the other maid, and of course, my favorite friend over here. But this is a classic case of amazing leadership and collaboration. When the mayor said, you know what, we donated the land, number one, and then the county board comes in, and this is so, so beautiful. And when we talk about compassion and love, and my theme for Peoria Public Schools this year is reimagining learning experiences for our kids, because one size doesn't fit all. This fits in perfectly. The exhibition that's here right now, amazing, and the kids are exposed to, and the mayor talked about many, many, many kids. It's 8,000 kids, 8,000, and Lincoln is over 90% low income, so none of these kids would have been able to. So this is unbelievable. And when we talk about passion and justice and equity and exposure and investment in young people, no matter who they are, what they have, where they're from, I mean, I just love this work. And as a city, as we continue with this mindset, we are going to go very, very far. I meet with a lady from Springfield once a month, and a Mayor Artist, she was talking about Peoria. She's like, I am surprised, and she has grandkids that play soccer, because we were just talking about our sons playing soccer. She's like, there's so many opportunities and so many amazing things that are available in Peoria, including the museum. And she talked about all these opportunities for families that they were not aware of. And I'm like, yeah, it's a beautiful city. So again, thank you, John and Sally. He's correct. He asked, would you guys be interested? And I'm like, absolutely, just let us know when. And the kids come in, it's curriculum related, and when they come in, they've already had the theory, and so this is all meaningful, authentic experiences where they are immersed, they're touching, they're feeling, the senses are all involved, and this is how learning occurs. So thank you so much to everybody, and it really does take the entire village. And this is a perfect example. It's one of my favorite collaborations, and it's truly, I think, a book should be written on it in terms of how we got to where we are. And so congratulations to East Peoria and the funder for that. Thank you.
Well, please help me introduce the man who's making it possible for us to expand this to East Peoria, Mike Graham, the president of John Graham and Associates East Peoria. Mike Graham.
Good afternoon, everyone. John, thank you for the opportunity to partner with this great institution. We're fans of the museum. We have been. Our support continues to get deeper and stronger, and we really appreciate your leadership and the opportunity for that to happen. We believe that the museum is one of the great things that Central Illinois has to offer, and we want it to thrive. We also believe in the concept that I've heard stated over and over here this morning, investing in our future, investing in our youth. I believe it was Bill Gates who said you can tell the future of a society by where they invest their money. And we're excited to be able to invest with the students in East Peoria on this Every Student Initiative. We've been in East Peoria business for over 23 years. We're very thankful to be part of the business community in Central Illinois, and this is an opportunity for us to give back. So thank you very much, John.
Thank you.
And the superintendent of the newest school district connected to the Every Student Initiative of Peoria Public Schools, Tony Inman.
Thank you, John. I appreciate the opportunity. kind of like Dr. Carrata, I wasn't prepared to make a lot of remarks here, but I think as you sit here and listen, and we've listened to cooperation and collaboration, that's a key element here. And for our district, we're proud to be part of that. And one of the things that happened when John first talked to me about this was, if we could find a way, would you be willing to ... And, we were absolutely, if there were a way to make this happen, we want to give these opportunities. We think that what's offered here at the museum is a great opportunity for our students. It's a great learning opportunity. And the fact that it's tied to, our curriculum and our instruction, as far as I'm concerned, these are the kinds of opportunities we need to be providing for our students. And so, absolutely, we were on board with that. But the question was, how do we make that happen? And that's where John and his staff went to work and have done an excellent job keeping us in the loop, saying, here's where we're at. And then, right about the time school was starting, hey, here's where we are today. We think we have this finalized. And I couldn't have been more excited about it. I shared that information with our administrators who were coming back at that time and said, okay, if they can make this happen, can we make it happen? And I credit that that's what we're working towards now. We're not quite there yet. We've talked a little bit this morning, but we're getting there. And I think it is a great opportunity for our students. And I think it's a great learning opportunity, but I think it's also a great opportunity for two communities to come together. And obviously it wouldn't have been possible without Mike Graham and John Graham and Associates. And so if you could give them a round of applause on behalf of our district, that would be great. So a big thank you on the part of myself, the District 86 Board of Education, our teachers, and obviously our students. This will be a great opportunity for all, and we're glad to be part of this new partnership, and hopefully it's something that we can continue, and then we will see happen in other districts around us. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, in conclusion, thank you to all of you who serve in the public office, all of you who serve the public in many ways. Among those ways people serve our public is in the United States military services. And so my final note is a programming note about something the museum has been working very hard on. And that is that last year, on the 11th of January, we honored a Congressional Medal of Honor recipient, Hal Fritz, who Congressman Bustos and I actually visited with together. Darren sent a special note on that night. Hal Fritz lives right here in Peoria. He's only one of 73 living Medal of Honor recipients. Hal Fritz committed the act of valor for which he received the Medal of Honor on January 11th, but this January 11th, Colonel Fritz will be bringing 3 more living Medal of Honor recipients to our district along with him. We'll have 4 Medal of Honor recipients together for a special day of ceremony and celebration for the ultimate in public service. And I just wanted to end on a celebration of public service that we have in announcing that special announcement with Colonel Fritz and the Medal of Honor Day that we will have here at the museum. So on behalf of all of us on staff and our board, God bless you. Thank you for coming. And please enjoy the Legos if you haven't already. And Holly Johnson, the coordinator of every